Welcome to the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I'm your host and coach, Morgan Ekovich. And today we're going to be diving into the importance of recharging and reconnecting with others and some of the science behind it. And I just had a moment a couple weeks ago where I had something on the calendar. It was a really long day. I really wanted to cancel. But I didn't, because I knew that although it felt daunting and overwhelming and just, oh my God, it's just another thing to do. When I got there, it was amazing. It was exactly what I needed to feel recharged, to feel reconnected with other people. And I think we've all had that feeling at points where there's just so much going on in life. I can't schedule the things for me. I can't do the things. But once I schedule and I get through that, oh, that's just another thing to I'm here and how awesome it is. We feel so amazing after. So, part of the reason for that is us as humans are inherently social creatures. So, yes, we have introverts and we have extroverts. And I think I'm honestly a combo of both, which I think a lot of us are. We have times when we're really great extroverts, and we have times when we're like, no, all I want to do is sit at home and be a hermit. Like, I think we are all a little bit of both. But we are inherently social creatures. We like to be around other people. And with everything moving online, it was a really great opportunity for me to create my business, but I also noticed all the things as time has gone on that I am missing out on that I am now putting myself back into. For instance, in person workshops with local people, networking groups. I am finding outlets to have these social connections. Yes, they are business related, but I'm also having personal connections. Going out to dinner with a girlfriend, Mike and I having date night, going in and watching sporting events together. Like we are having those external connections that honestly feel very daunting on my calendar most of the time because it's just another thing. And I love not having anything on the calendar and just kind of saying, hey, do you want to go do this? But honestly, if it doesn't get scheduled, it won't happen. None of my girlfriends that I went to college with live really close to me. We're all at least an hour apart and we're in different stages of our life. So if we don't strategically put it on the calendar to see each other in a couple weeks or in a couple months, it's not going to happen because time just moves so quickly. And the longer time frame we have, the more disconnected I feel. And I don't realize it until there's just something that always happens. And I'm like, I'm really missing that. Also, positive social interactions release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. So, we have hormones that are released when we are connecting with other people. And that can be on a social level, that can be on a business level, it can be on a multitude of levels. But we get something from connecting with another person, specifically in person as much as we can. Because all those senses that we have are heightened because we get to be with that person. Strong social connections boost the immune system and can increase our lifespan. Think about this. Do you know people who have retired and have become pretty isolated because they haven't been able to find that routine or get into that mojo? And you're noticing that they're sitting at home. They're not going out and playing cards. They're not going for their walks. They're not going to the gym. They're not really family gatherings or a family member coming over is their social interaction. Do you know people like that? Well, that isolation right there is really easy to fall into if you are not careful. It's really easy to not put something on the calendar, to not get involved. It's easier to just keep doing what you're doing and sitting at home. It's harder to get out there. But it can be as simple as going and playing cards. It can be as simple as going for a walk with a girlfriend, joining a book group, going to a networking thing. I have a client couple weeks ago, she said, I'm super proud of myself. I signed up for a free networking thing and I went and I learned something and it was awesome. And that right there is just like, it is just so fun to hear women taking that step into trying something new, whether it's a pottery class or a cooking class, and doing it on their own, but knowing that there's other people around. So you're going to recharge and get that connection. Even better if you can set it up with a girlfriend and go together, but that doesn't always work out. Schedules are crazy, kids' schedules are crazy, and all the things. So, the last thing I want you to remember is social support plays a critical role in managing anxiety and depression. So, when I say this, I know people in my life who have social anxiety, who going into new environments makes them very anxious and uncomfortable. But I also know that they have tools that they use to make that less anxious for them. For instance, they will make sure that if they're going to somewhere new, they look it up on their maps. They will make sure they leave with plenty of time so that they have time to get there without feeling rushed, making sure that they feel confident. They'll take somebody else with them. They will say, or they will meet somebody else there. Things like that. So there are ways around it. And I get new social, trying new things is scary. It's uncomfortable. It brings up a lot of feelings, but it also is going to make you excel. It's going to make you feel amazing, recharged, reconnected. It can make you feel a little tired by the end of the day. Don't get me wrong. I have some Wednesdays where I have a lot of social interaction and I am exhausted by the end. But in the moment, I feel so connected and just so like brainstorm, idea, do this, do that. Like I feel so energized. At the end of the day, I'm tired. Don't get me wrong. I'm exhausted, but it's a different type of exhaustion. So now that I've kind of shared some of the science behind it, what happens when we're around people, I'm going to share a few benefits and then we're going to get into some other things. So, benefits of social connections: improved mental health and reduced stress, enhanced mood and emotional well being, increased longevity and better physical health, fresh perspective and mental stimulation, and creation of lasting memories and stronger bonds. I could talk about hundreds of benefits of going and being with other people, whether that is as simple as walking together, doing dinner, going to a concert, taking a trip, having a huge party. It looks different. It's going to look different every single time. But those are just the benefits of connections with other people. And yes, having connection with yourself is important. Having downtime, putting nothing on the calendar is just as important as having that connection with other people. The thing that we want to remember though is it's not just with other people. It's about other people who energize you, who bring you joy, who get those juices flowing, who excite you, who you're excited to hang out with and learn about their life. Those are the people you want to be spending your time and putting that energy into, because it's not just filling your cup, but it's filling their cup. And you both walk away with something amazing. When we have people or groups in our life and we're just like, oh, I have to do this, it's a must. These people are draining. I just feel like everything is negative. Uh, like those are people that there may be some obligation. It may be some work colleagues, and you're like, "Oh, I just really hate doing happy hour with them. Happy hour should be happy, and it's never happy." Some of it, you have a choice. You have a choice to say no. If you don't have a choice, go and make the best out of it. But then know that those are people that you're not going to spend extra time trying to set up extra time together. Nope, this is kind of a one and done situation. And we go through stages. We all go through positive and negative mindset shifts throughout our years of aging. It's a really good stage in our life. Oh, it's a really hard stage in our life. Oh, we've got this happening, this happening. So you are going to have friends and you're going to have family members that throughout your life are going to be more fun and more energizing to hang out with. And then there's going to be times where they're frustrating and negative and it doesn't bring you what you had hoped it does. Don't lose hope. because you've probably felt that way before as well. But just make note of it, and maybe you put a little bit more time to that next hangout to hope that you are in a better place to help them if that's something you want to do, and that they have gotten in a new stage of their life where they're back to that energizing person that you want to be around. I mentioned filling our cup. So we all have different things that fill our cup. And some of it's laughter, some of it is sharing jokes, some of it's creating memories. Whatever that is, when we fill our cup, it's about replenishing our emotional energy because the day to day can get really monotonous and it can get really exhausting. And like I mentioned in the beginning, it can get really easy to want to cancel on plans because we are not mentally, emotionally ready to go be with people. But once we are there, our cup starts to feel more full. You start to feel that energy just, it starts to rise. You like sit down and you're excited to see them. You give them a hug. You start talking. I do this with a lot of my girlfriends. We start sitting down and don't understand. If somebody were watching our conversation, they would be like, what are these people talking about? They are nuts. Because we literally go from like this topic to this topic to this topic. I'm like, oh yeah, but what about this back to the first thing we talked about? We do so much bouncing around, but it is so energizing that it just feels good and it feels open and it's a really good exhale that we can't always do with our partners. We can't always do with our parents. We can't always do with certain people. So we also have different groups of friends and different types of friends that fill our cups differently. So that's the other thing that I want to touch on today is you may have seen or you might have heard that like you're the spur of the moment friend or you're the adventurous friend, you're the baking friend. Like we all have hobbies that we fall into and that when we're with a friend we tend to do the same thing. So I have friends that we do crafts with. I have friends that we do wine night with. I have friends that we literally lay and do absolutely nothing because that's how we met was in college just studying. And when we weren't studying, we were just sitting there in peace and quiet. But like that right there was just awesome. And that still re energizes us and fills our cup. So you have these different types of friends. And I think it's important to have different friends in different areas of life because it opens you up to new experiences, new memories. I'm not saying you have to have 20, 30 friends by any means, but having friends that fall into different categories of, okay, this friend likes to go out, this friend likes to stay in and do cooking. Great. You have two different experiences, two ways to fill your cup. I'm a very go with the flow type of friend of I'm down for just about anything, but we have to plan it. It's the one thing that gets me is I'm down for anything. I'll try anything. I'll try any class. Let's travel. Let's go do it all. But we got to plan. I'm a very versatile friend and I love that about myself. And you may love that you are the baker and that when your friend comes over, you guys just spend time cooking and enjoying each other's company. Or maybe you're the friend who, like, we always go out to eat. We find the best restaurants and we have so much fun chatting, eating good food. Or maybe you're that friend who is like that hobby person where you're like, I am a hobbyist. I have a new hobby every couple of weeks and I love to show the people in my life what they are and I want them to try it. Or maybe you just like sitting and doing crafts and watching Netflix with somebody else. Maybe that is one of your friendships that you have or the type of friend you are. We're all different types of friends, and we also need to seek and have different types of friends in our life to fill our cup up to help us feel recharged and reconnected. Because if we only have one kind, it's kind of like our partners. It's kind of like our partners cannot fulfill every single need we need. That is why we have friends. That is why people say in parenthood it takes a village, is because it does. Everybody has so much going on. And every person cannot fulfill every single one of your needs. But if you have an amazing community around you that helps fill up that cup and recharge and reconnect you all through it in these little different ways, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel energized and exhaled. But it's hard to make this happen. Like I mentioned in the beginning, scheduling is hard. Getting shit done is hard because there's so much going on. There's sports, there's your appointments, there's work, there's meal prep, there's exercise, there's all these things. So, to make it happen, the first thing you need to do is start with small, short, low pressure meetups. And what I mean by that is, hey, do you want to go for a walk this afternoon? I've got a girlfriend and she's one of my childhood best friends and she's got two kiddos and it's hard to find times that meet up. But we'll text each other and say, hey, what's your work schedule this month? We'll put something on the calendar and we just go meet up to walk. Very low key. Need to bring the kids? Bring the kids. Don't need to bring the kids? Great. Whatever works for you. Very low key, no pressure. The other thing, like I alluded to and said in the beginning, is scheduling. I have to schedule with all my friends or I will not see them. I won't. I honestly will not see my friends if I don't schedule it. I won't see my mom if I don't schedule it with her. Like my mom and I even try to schedule things when we're in town once a week, at minimum every other week. My friends, like I mentioned, none of them really live super close. And my ones that do live super close have lots of kids. So I say lots of kids, meaning 2+. But when you have 0, there's a lot of kids. So it's hard. Schedules are tricky. So we put it on the calendar. My one girlfriend, we meet once a month. We put one date night for us where we try out a restaurant or we go to one of our favorite restaurants and we have food and wine. And that is just once a month. But I know that's something I look forward to every month. But right before I leave with one of my girlfriends, with all my friends who live more than an hour away, we put our next date on the calendar. Hey, okay, when am I seeing you next? Where are we going to go? Do you want to come to me this time or do you want me to come to you? That's about all we do. When we do try to alternate, when you have friends that are further away, it's hard. You have to alternate rather than one person always going there because it is a two-way street and it does get exhausting. But as long as the effort is being put in on both ends, that recharge, reconnect, and that energizing will happen. The other thing is checking in. So as you get closer to that date, I said this in the beginning, as we get closer to that date, the schedule fills up and I get very overwhelmed with, I have 3 social things this week. I'm exhausted. I don't want to go to these social things, but I know what going to these social things will do. So I always check in with the person. I always say, hey, I see we've got something on. Are we still on? Really looking forward to it. Are we still on? Because life happens. And I always like to check because I always want to be given the out. If somebody asks me, I don't ever want to say, hey, we can't do it tonight because I feel like I'm letting someone else down. But when I ask, hey, are we still on? Are we still good for tonight? Or are we still good for this week? That then puts them in the to say, yes, we're still great. Or no, I've been meaning to text you. So-and-so got sick. We are under with the flu. Can we try for this date instead? Which I've done hundreds of times as well. Because like I said, a lot of my friends have kids and things are unpredictable. You just don't know. So I always try to send that text just to make sure, hey, are we still good? Are we still on? It also gets me excited about it rather than, oh, it's this thing I have to go do. And then finally, we want to make sure that we are really focusing on the outcome and remembering the feelings that we have post getting together with this person or persons. Because we all have that reluctant, oh, now I got to rush home, do this, do this, do this. And that right there is really easy for us to fall into, nope, not going to do it. I'm just going to cancel last minute. We don't want to do that because one, when we cancel something, we feel bad. The person on the other end feels bad. I've been canceled on. I don't feel great. I'm like, oh, well, I was really looking forward to that. I'm really bummed that we're not doing that. Like, there's a lot of emotions that fall into that, but also just acknowledging that it's going to happen at times. So what I do is anytime I start to feel some of that, "Ugh, it's just another thing on the calendar," is I really get intentional about, yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying this, or wow, I haven't had wine in a few weeks. Like I'm excited for the wine night, or yay, we were going to a new class, or wow, since I talked to her, she got a new job and the baby turned 1. Like, whatever that is, it's important to think about some of those things that you're going to talk about and that you're looking forward to doing and saying and talking about because it's going to get over that, just another thing. It's going to make it exciting. So, as we kind of wrap up here, I want to mention the ripple effect. And the ripple effect is kind of takes place in all areas of our life. When we do something nice for somebody, like holding the door, that person then feels good and then they're more apt to open the door for somebody else. So, the ripple effect when it comes to this is one positive social interaction often leads to more. So, when you feel good and you go and you have this positive social interaction, whether it's planned or unplanned, you're more likely to have it again with that person or with a different person. Reconnecting with one person can expand your social circle. And like I mentioned, you don't need 20 best friends, but it's good to have people in your life that you can go to and you can trust. And you may not hang out with them very often, but you can say, hey, I need help. Do you mind helping me with this? Or, hey, I was thinking, like, do you want to go get some dinner? Um, just haven't caught up in a while and was wondering what was going on in your life. The last thing is positive experiences motivate us to seek out more connections. So, if you have a positive experience with a person or a business per se, you're going to want to go to that business again, see that person again, go be around more people like them. Create a social circle of people that you love to be with that help fulfill and fill all of your cups. That creativity cup, that brainstorm cup, that work cup, that just, like I said, that Netflix and do crafts cup. Like, we need friends and people in our lives to make us feel connected. And there's a time and place for us to have alone time and to recharge. And there's a time and place for us to be with others and recharge. Having a balance of that. If you know that once a week is good for you to connect with others, schedule something once a week so you don't go too far down the line and realize, wow, it's been weeks since I've connected with a human like I want, like that brings me joy and energizes me. Make it a routine like we do our fitness. Get in say Wednesdays, I'm going to try to schedule something with somebody every Wednesday or twice a month, whatever that looks like. Mine is typically a couple times a month. And then we just have natural things that happen where we have that connection that don't get scheduled. Like, oh, we went and saw family, or oh, we went and saw a different family, or oh, we went and saw some of his friends. Like, there's connection that still happens there, even when we are not the ones scheduling it. So if you do know that you are lacking some you and some specific connection for you, I was telling one of my other clients about this. She's a new mom, or I guess newish mom. She's got 3 little kiddos. Her youngest just turned 1. And I was sharing, I was like, the importance of during this transition, because they're going through a lot of transitions with school and things, that it's important that she schedules time for her and her husband, but as well for her and her girlfriends. Because so often those girlfriends are pushed to the side. So it's important that we schedule that time because it brings so much to us emotionally, mentally, for our soul, for all of those things. So with that, if you have been listening and you're like, Morgan, I am ready to put something on the calendar and to recharge with people. Open up your phone, send this episode to that person you want to recharge with and say, hey, we need to get this on the calendar. These are the dates I'm available. Are you free? Listen to this episode. Let's fill our cups, be energized, reconnect, and get recharged with each other because it's important. And we as women tend to do a lot of things on our own and push through because we feel like it's our role. Well, you don't have to be. That's not how it has to be. Reconnect with those around you. Have that support group. Be there with them. Have fun. You deserve it. Until next time, recharge, reconnect, and fill that cup. Talk to you later. Thank you for tuning in to the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and packed with actionable tips. Remember, your journey to becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself is just beginning. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join our community of empowered women. Until next time, stay strong and stay confident.